Okay, I had to wait a minute to get some parts that were necessary to finish up the build after the timing chain we did. And that comes from Modular Motorsports Racing in California. These guys make this critical part for this adapter plate for my Edelbrock intake and my BB&K throttle body that we're going to be putting on the engine. In the meantime, I realized why not get replacement bolts, because even though I cleaned all these up, I think some new intake bolts, new oil pan bolts, as well as some new header bolts would be an easy add, because these guys had them all ready for me. So we're going to be replacing all those as well. And then I've got the timing gasket cover. A couple other little parts in here, like there's a little O-ring that goes over the timing gasket. Go ahead and replace it. So these were important because I really couldn't do anything much past putting the timing gear on. So let's get on it. Timing cover, cleaned it up, painted it, made it look better. Put the cam sensor back on it put everything back on it. So now what we're gonna do is put the timing cover gaskets on, and they come in a bag. They don't tell you which one it is, but luckily they only go in one way. They're fitted for each notch, and they're actually pretty simple to get right back in. Now we're going to place this one. I may need to get my bushing pusher thing. I need to get my seal driver to pop this seal out. Right here where the head meets the block, we're going to put some RTV. So in these locations here. Also, make sure these are really clean. Take your time to clean those really well, get all the old sealant off of it. Same thing for where the head covers go, valve covers. Okay, we got them loosely installed. So now they're 89 inch-pounds. And there is a precise pattern that you do it in. And if you've got your Haynes manual, it shows you right here. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna do that now. Torque it down. There are 19, but 4 of them are oil pan. All right, valve covers next. Correction on the timing bolt covers. Looking at the Haynes manual, I was looking at a V6, and then I looked at the 5.0 V8. So you gotta be careful because that book covers a lot of years. So looking at the 4.6 modular engine specs, it's 15 to 22 foot-pounds, which I have this set to. So now I gotta go back through and make sure I got these at the right torque space. Okay, got the timing cover on, so now I'm getting excited because we're putting new parts on the engine. And by the way, I've got everything set up. The kit is shipping in a couple of days. So I've got to get this thing together and get this place straightened up because we're gonna have a lot of boxes. We're probably gonna have to put the boxes in the dining room, which Mama ain't gonna be happy about it. But we're gonna have to do what we gotta do because we're gonna have a body buck. I gotta build that at some point, probably this weekend. Get all this on, finished, and then we'll get prepped for the kit arrival. But new part, so obviously we're not gonna put on these wonderful, beautiful plastic pieces of crap back on the engine. So last time and this time, we came up with these trick flow valve covers. These are nice. They look good, they really dress up the engine, and they're metal, not plastic. So we want to get these slapped on next and get this engine looking like something that should go in a Cobra build. Okay, like with the timing cover, the trick flow comes with a gasket, and it's very self-explanatory, only goes one way. The two covers are different, so you just preload it. This section is where the valve and time cover meets the engine block. So what we're gonna do, just like we did with the timing cover, we're gonna put a little RTV at that joint, in addition to having that extra padding they have on that gasket. Again, can't mess it up. They only go one way, the way you can read it. And these little washers come with it. I just preloaded them all so it's easier to deal with. Get a socket. I can't get my fat fingers down in there. It's 10. Okay, we'll torque these down from the inside out. And according to Haynes, 71 to 106 foot-pounds, but the trick flows said something different. Yeah, 71 to 106 inch-pounds. So again, torquing those from the inside out, do the other side. Jumped ahead a little bit, put the oil pan on with the new oil pan ARP bolts that we got from Modular Motorsports Racing. Just got the engine flipped over. We're gonna put the headers on now and the new header bolts. So some of these are gonna be kind of tough to get out, but you can see you gotta go with a racing type oil pan, high capacity pan, because the stock pan is too deep. It sticks below the car. With this pan, it does not do that. So let's get the headers put on. We'll flip it over and finish the top of the engine out. Okay, these last two didn't come out, so the end is a 5mm fit on it. So hopefully we can keep it from stripping out. Sure makes life easier having this thing on a stand, so we can easily put these on here. It tells you that it's at the top. So also one of the engine prep things you have to do from the manual is flip your headers from how it was installed originally to how it goes now with the Cobra. Okay, got all my new bolts started. Just a tip, it does hit the engine block right here, or the timing cover, but that's fine. These are 13mm. We'll tighten them up with a ratchet and then we'll torque them to 14 to 16 foot-pounds, starting from the inside out. Flip it over to the other side. Notice we've got the EGR delete already on here. This is part of the kit. The other piece is a plate that goes on the throttle body. This side doesn't hit anything like the other side does. Okay, at this point I'm gonna go ahead and change out the plugs, and then I'll probably take a vacuum cleaner, make sure I clean all these combustion chambers out. What you do is take a straw and tape it to the end of your vacuum cleaner so you can get down in there. All in all, they look pretty good. Okay, I'm going with the NGK TR6 41.7. They should be pre-gapped. Showpiece for the top of the engine is a new Edelbrock intake manifold. You can see the old one is plastic and just big and bulky. Edelbrock, that's all you gotta say. I mean, look at the thing, it's gorgeous. So what I gotta do is switch over some parts like this sensor. One thing they did in 04 and later models, they did have this crossover tube was metal. It used to be plastic, but even this plastic tends to fail because of the heat transfer through it, and that typically fails right here at this crossover tube. Not a problem here, it's all integral. The crossover tube is part of the intake manifold. So what we're gonna do is take these bolts and nuts off and transfer them over, because I'll lose them if I don't. And we have new ones for the throttle body that comes with the Modular Racing adapter plate that we got. So let's get this on the engine. Of course, you gotta have new gaskets. This one has an R on it, and they kind of clip down in there. Okay, these are torqued to 18 foot-pounds, and notice a little problem here with the thermostat housing. So this is the new AR, I don't think it's ARPs. These are the new intake bolts that I got. Obviously they're too short. So I have to use the old one. It's not a big deal. These are a 6, believe it or not a 7/32. So I have quite the setup here to get this torqued. And then I just dropped it down in there. I'm just gonna have to use the 7/32. I'm gonna have to flip the engine over to get that out. We're just gonna have to use the 7/32 because that's just frustrating and ain't working. There we go. So I was going to do the injectors and the fuel rail, but the injector adapter that's supposed to be the right ones is not. And my fuel rail, I need basically the whole installation kit for it. I've got the rails, but I don't have the lines and that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead with installing our new MSD pulls versus what was in there, which was, I don't think that somebody put these in at some point, but we're going with a brand new MSD coil. I was getting a little nervous there because the plastic intake, the bolts for the coil packs don't work for that. And I looked in the box, and then there was a bag of screws for your coils, to plug a hole here that we don't need, and also back here for the return for the heater. And this goes into your firewall, and this comes out for your car heater. We don't need that for the factory 5, and the kit is supposed to have the adapter pipe that goes here. They used to not provide it, now they do, supposedly. We'll see. If not, Breeze Automotive, which you'll probably be hearing a lot of as we build the kit, has an adapter hose. Repeat that 7 more times. Okay, out with the old, in with the new. You can clearly see the size is much larger in that bore there. So what we're gonna do now is transfer the sensors that we need. And here's the other part of the EGR delete kit that goes on the back because we don't need exhaust gas return. And then this bracket, we're just gonna transfer things over. It's about all I can do right now without the fuel system. I've got the underdrive pulleys I can put on. And I need some mounting hardware for this throttle body. Probably looks like I'm gonna do some Allen heads or something in black so it matches. We got everything transferred over to this throttle body. It's pretty got a lot done here. But I got word that my kit is done. Ships tomorrow. So I've got to get this thing over to the side. I've got to build a body buck next, and I've got to get this garage straight. So this is probably it for the engine. I'll probably finish it up once I get all the parts in, then we'll get those videos on there as soon as we can. It's coming. I said that was the end, I lied. I went ahead and put in the overdrive pulley, or underdrive pulley, excuse me. And then my water pump, I'm still waiting on. It was the long one that came with the timing kit. Jegs is still working on getting me the correct one. Cleaned up the power steering reservoir bracket, put it on. Went ahead and bought a brand new power steering pump. I put the old one on there and it's all rusty. It's over there in a pile of crap. And I said, nah, let's just put a new one on there. And then same thing with the engine mounts. We got some new engine mounts. They're not that expensive and they look so much better. My old ones, the rubber was really worn out. So just real quick, that's all I've done. Actually, I ordered a new housing as well. That's the old one, and a gasket. So I've got some parts coming in and I'll give you a quick update as those do. But that is now officially it for the engine. This is the last greasy, chunky piece we've got to fix. And it's gonna take some parts. We're gonna need new tie rod ends, tie rods, boots, clamps. It actually says remanufactured right there. So it's already replacement, and wow, that's where it took the hit on the left side. So altogether, those parts add up real quick. Or we can just reach out to our friends at Detroit Axle and get a brand spanking new remanufactured power steering rack. It's all clean, ready to go on the car. Well, you gotta modify the ends of the
got to cut a few inches off the tie rods, but this is a lot cleaner than doing that. And actually, it's a lot cheaper too versus buying all those parts. And this one being in the wreck, didn't really put that on the Cobra. So that was easy. We're all ready for the Cobra now. Hi, Grayson.
All good.
Would you like to come over here and be interviewed?
Huh?
Would you like to be interviewed?
About?
I don't know. What you eating? You're not even in the frame.